And now for our feature presentation.
Hello. I would like to tell you a story.
The town of Ravenwood had always been a quiet and peaceful place, until the day a mysterious family moved into the old abandoned mansion at the edge of town. The family, known as the Blackwoods, kept to themselves, rarely venturing out into town, and rumors began to circulate about their strange behavior and the strange noises that could be heard coming from their home at all hours of the day and night. One day, a young woman named Alice, who had just moved to Ravenwood, decided to pay a visit to the Blackwood mansion. She had heard the rumors and knew better to pry into any business that's not hers. But something grabbed hold of her, as if a constant voice in her head was drawing her to the Blackwood mansion. And so, she made her way down the long driveway to the mansion's front door. As she approached, she heard strange chanting and smelled a foul odor emanating from within. Despite her better judgment, Alice knocked on the door. After what seemed like an eternity, the door creaked open, and she was greeted by a tall, imposing figure in a black cloak who introduced himself as Mr. Blackwood. He invited Alice in, and she followed him through the dimly lit hallways of the mansion. As they made their way to the family's private chapel, Alice began to feel uneasy. The chanting grew louder, and the air grew thick with an oppressive energy that seemed to weigh down on her. When they reached the chapel, Alice saw a terrifying sight. The Blackwood family, dressed in black robes, were gathered around a young girl who was strapped to an altar, her body writhing in pain. Alice realized too late that she had stumbled upon an exorcism. Mr. Blackwood explained that the girl, his daughter, had been possessed by a demon and that the family was trying to expel it from her body. Alice watched in horror as the exorcism continued, the girl's screams growing louder and more intense with each passing moment. Suddenly, the demon possessing the girl spoke. Its voice was otherworldly, and Alice felt the blood drain from her face as it addressed her directly. The demon taunted her, promising to claim her soul next. Alice tried to run, but the Blackwoods caught her and dragged her back to the chapel. For the next several hours, Alice was subjected to unspeakable horrors as the Blackwoods attempted to exorcise the demon from their daughter's body and transfer it to Alice's. They tied her to the altar next to her daughter, chanting and performing dark rituals as Alice screamed in agony. She felt the evil spirit flow into her body, tearing her apart from the inside out. She begged for it to stop, but it didn't stop. The Blackwoods were determined to finish the ritual. Alice's mind slowly deteriorated under the constant assault of the demon's voice and the Blackwoods' cruel rituals. She could feel her grip on reality slipping away, as the demon whispered promises of power and immortality in her ear. Days later, the townspeople found Alice's lifeless body in the Blackwood mansion, her face contorted in a grotesque expression of pain and terror. As for the Blackwoods were never seen again, and the mansion remained empty, a dark shadow looming over the town of Ravenwood for years to come.